Alright, this quick video will show you how to get the relative frequency and Statcrunch of your data. Now I will do it kind of a longer way with the definition, and then I'll do a shorter, quick way with the graph. But understanding it is kind of the concept here. So, first thing we need to do is we need to look at what is relative frequency. So here's another table. We have number of pets. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's how many pets you have, and then they surveyed a whole bunch of people and found that the frequency would be the number of people that had 1 pet, the number of people that had 2 pets, 90, etc. And then we have a column here labeled relative frequency. So this is frequency, it's the tallies of how many people had these. The relative frequency is the actual percentage, it's the part of the whole. So 150 is 150 divided by the sum of this column. So the sum was 400. 150 divided by 400 is 37.5%, or 0.375 as a decimal, right? Or 0.375 as a decimal, and that equals 37.5%. And then you just do the rest of them. 90 divided by 400 is 22.5%. You're getting your relative frequency. Normally listed as a percent, but it can be listed as a decimal depending on what they're looking for. So we got to do that with our data here. We have frequency, and now we want to create a relative frequency. And how you do that is you go up to data, and we're going to compute. So we go to expression, and we have to build it. So we're going to build that expression here. And just by the definition, a relative frequency is the frequency divided by the sum. So I'll take the frequency and add it, it shows up here, then divide it by the sum. And the functions are over here. Sum, add it, the sum of what? The sum of all the frequencies. Add it in. So there's our column that we're going to be doing all these numbers for. So it would be 296 divided by the sum of all of these, 402 divided by the sum. And once I get that, I click OK, and then click Compute. But let's put our column title as Relative Frequencies, and then click Compute. Alright, there we go. We have our decimal versions, and you can just move the decimal over 2 spots for a percent, right? 14.3%, watching to round. 19.4%, 44.4, here's a 20.7, I guess they all just stay the same. Let's just verify though, I've got a calculator, how this was done. First we need the sum. I didn't get the sum, I just had to calculate. So I'm just going to quickly add these up. 402, 918, 428. And you could do this in Excel, or you could use the sum function and have it just put it out right here, right? A lot of things you can do, but 2067. Now let's just test it. 296 divided by that 2067 should be my relative frequency, 14.3%, and that's exactly what I have. So that's the quick way on how to do it here in Statcrunch. Just use your data table and put the definition in and compute. Now the super fast way is go to Graph, Bar Plot with Summary. The categories are in Response. The frequency counts are in the frequency, right? And then you want a relative frequency graph, and you put the value over the bar. So now this gives you a bar plot with the data, but it's actually giving you the relative frequency versus the frequency. So that's why it's important to pick the different type. You could actually pick percent too, but let's look at this. And now we see the relative frequency matching up. 0.01. Oh, I have it not in the same order, so I should have chosen value by worksheet. Order by worksheet means put it in this order here. Never, rarely, sometimes, always. That way it matches up. And that's the correct way we want to read our stuff. 14.3%. Let's go and check an option of what it does if I do percent. Relative frequency, percent, compute. Here it does the percent. 14.3, 19.4. It's only to 1 decimal though, so you have to pay attention to what you want. putting your cursor over it gives you the full information. Okay, hopefully that's helpful. Kind of understanding how Statcrunch computes things will help make other computations easier, and that's why I showed you the computation. This works very quickly to get the answer, so that works as well. Good luck.